All right, here we go. It's the SmackDown report. We want to welcome all our English-speaking fans around the world. Thank you for joining us. My name is Hugo Savilovich. This was a Tuesday night of many expectations on the SmackDown, the blue brand. And we were wondering what we were going to see on tonight's SmackDown episode, and we would like to hear from your comments. So this is the English version of what we do here. Will be our first SmackDown report in English, and every week we will have the SmackDown report plus headlines of the world of professional wrestling. So we want to welcome all our viewers around the world, all the alliances we have with Lucha Libre Online. We have 34 alliances of the most serious and spectacular wrestling pages in Facebook around the world. We want to say hello to our alliances. It's Sportskeeda Wrestling covering United States, England, and India. The World Wrestling Network covering Pakistan, Asia, and Egypt. The Pro Wrestling World covering United States and Philippines. Wrestling Rumors covering Canada and Australia. WWE Australian Fans covering Australia and Nepal. WWE Champions covering Brazil. The Wrestling Insiders covering Malaysia and United Kingdom. The Spotlight covering United States, India, and Canada. The Gift of Jericho covering United Kingdom, United States, and Pakistan. Thank you, DX and Undertaker covering Indonesia and France. Real Wrestling Fans covering Egypt, India, and United States. We Love Pro Wrestling covering Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. And Más Lucha, México, WWE Latinoamérica, Ecuador, WWE Humor Guatemala, Queremos WWE Chile, Planeta Wrestling España, WWE World Fans Perú, solo para fanáticos de la WWE Bolivia, Suplex Chile, WWE Universo Latino Ecuador, WWE Nación Mundial Honduras y República Dominicana, WWE Es Mi Pasión El Salvador, WWE Fanatic World Colombia, Perú y Chile, Caín, WWE Colombia, Hablemos de Lucha, Estados Unidos, México y Ecuador, Lucha Libre MXPR, Puerto Rico, México y Perú, WWE Fanáticos Mundial, Nicaragua, WWE para el Mundo, Panamá, Uruguay y Venezuela, Zona Ruda, Tijuana y California, Team Breast, Perú, Colombia y Chile, el Blog de Lucha, Norte de México, Texas y Arizona, el Polo, WWE, Ecuador, Guatemala y El Salvador, Tío Heisenberg, HD, Paraguay, 34 alianzas, 34 alliances with Lucha Libre Online. My name is Hugo Savilovich. For over 70 years, I produced and was one of the play-by-play announcers with Carlos Cabrera on WWE pay-per-views and all the shows around the world. I have done 15 years of production before with WWE in Puerto Rico, when Puerto Rico was one of the top territories in the world. I did the first season in Spanish of Lucha Underground. I have done pay-per-views with AAA in Mexico. Recently, I started doing some events with them, and I will be doing play-by-play in their big event, Rey de Reyes in Mexico on March 4th. I will also be producing in Kissimmee, Florida, Lucha Conquest 2, the saga continues, main event, Alberto Del Rio versus Carlito Caribbean Cool. We'll talk more about that. Also, I'm producing a big event in Chile on May 6th in Santiago, Chile with Austin Aries. Welcome to our fans. In a few seconds, my wife, the Dangerous Blonde, will be joining us. And let's talk about tonight's SmackDown show. What did you think about the show tonight? Many expectations, of course. The big main event, as we were going towards the main event, we had so many questions to be answered. I don't know if the fact that the fans already knew of the new contract signed by Dolph Ziggler, I think it also affected in a lot of ways the response, as the fans are aware of a part-time basis contract where Dolph Ziggler is going to have more time to do what he wants to do, stand-up comic, and so therefore his push will be very limited. And for the wrestling fans, that tells a big story. But nevertheless, Sami Zayn and Dolph Ziggler went at it. I was expecting more in the first part of the match, but my wishes were, I think, I was pleased as we went into the second part of the match, and we saw explosion after explosion by Sami Zayn and the zigzag by Dolph Ziggler, that gigantic superplex or the explosion from the top rope, and many false finishes. Good match. I always said that Sami Zayn is a tremendous performer. I just feel like WWE kind of just doesn't let him go free to do all what he needs to do to be this Sami Zayn that we know and that people around the world got to know. And Dolph Ziggler looked a little nervous. 7 weeks that he wasn't in SmackDown, but then we were able to see that storyline that he will be part of the Fastlane main event with an opportunity to go for the WWE, and let's see what happens. A lot of crazy, strange things happen. Fans are, to me, are the most important part of a wrestling game. Fans and the boys and the ladies, the wrestlers, because they make things happen. And the power of the fans, I believe, it's so important. And let's see what happens with Dolph Ziggler. A lot of fans, and we get sometimes in the Spanish shows that we do on Facebook and Lucha Libre 9, plus 2,000, sometimes 6,000 comments, and we get a true feeling of what the fans think about that. So as soon as my wife comes over, we will have the opportunity to get some of your questions, and we'll see what happens here. And here's my wife, the Dangerous Blonde, Diana Savinovich. We welcome Diana to this SmackDown report and headlines from the wrestling world. Welcome, Diana.
Hello to all the fans, English-speaking fans out there, wrestling fans. It's such an honor to be here with you, our first show of SmackDown report in English, so it's going to be fun. So I expect your comments so I can read them and we can discuss wrestling. What do you think is going on? Raymond Amankwa says hello from East Sussex, and he says that he loves WWE.
All right. And who else do we have there, Diana?
I'm loading up some comments.
And if you see that little head there coming out, that is our girl, a blue and gold Macau, Shushi. That's our girl. And we want to welcome all our fans around the world. This is our first English SmackDown report. Every Tuesday, as soon as SmackDown finishes, we will be live, not only talking about the episode of SmackDown, but the top news around the world. So we got to see a lot of action tonight. I think sometimes WWE and the SmackDown brand, they waste a lot of time. That pancake storyline with wrestlers that could give the people their money's worth, like Chad and Shelton, just wasting time with those pancakes when they could have 3 or 4 minutes of solid wrestling. And of course, we got to see the win by the New Day. And I think sometimes it's a way of knowing when is enough. And when you have good, talented wrestlers like a New Day and Chad and Shelton, you got to let them go, man. Go at it and give the blue brand that gusto. What made it different from the Raw brand that is missing? Let's have more comments.
All right, Gallardo wants to know what is your opinion about Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin. Well, if you heard the English announced team, they were saying Baron has a reputation of not taking advantage of the big opportunities. And even when he was able to win on Owens, the announcer still said that Baron got to silence the critics. And I believe that sometimes it's better not to say things, especially when they already are hurting the talent from that Money in the Bank bad episode into the recent matches. I believe that Baron has improved. I think he looks solid. I know what the creative is trying to do, but sometimes the problem with that is when you have a Kevin Owens and they are over, it is very hard sometimes to get somebody like Baron over on and Kevin, and for people to buy that, even though we know we're talking about fast lane. But you know, that's the way that the game is played, and creative from both Raw and SmackDown. They're going to have to make some adjustments, because I believe that they sometimes forget how much knowledge you guys have. I mean, you guys know. I mean, and let's go with more comments again.
Milton Alex Pangual said, just watch you when you were at Starrcade 1983.
Wow.
Managing Abdullah the Butcher.
Mi monstro, mi máquina. That was prior to any pay-per-views that were non-existent back then. It was. Did you know that was telecast on closed circuit to a stadium in Bayamon, Puerto Rico? And boy, I got hurt because I sneaked back into the ring, and the people on ringside, man, they nailed me a couple of times. But I interfered in Abdullah the Butchers and Carlos Colon, and that was a historic Starrcade in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was a snowstorm, and the building was sold out. One of the good memories. I mean, many years ago. Let's go with more comments.
Daniel Pablo says, Hugo, WWE is dropping the ball with Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
I wish they could do something great with Dolph, but I know they will drop the ball again with him.
Yes, and the Bray Wyatt story, we had covered that information on how many defeats Bray Wyatt had last year. Already he has over 16 defeats this year, and the fans love him. But, you know, how long can the fans support someone that they see the company just crushing and crushing and crushing? And that was another of the comments of the fans talking to us about Rusev. The Rusev Day, it's getting over, yet creative people from WWE, they're not happy because they're not getting him over. It's the fans and himself getting over, and they cannot stand it. So even though fans love him, are they trying to react? We'll see what happens on the mixed tag. I had suggested Lan and him together, but obviously, if they don't want to put you over, I don't care. You know how much fans love a talent. It is very difficult for the talent to get over because they don't control the destiny. But I do believe the fans have the last saying. It's been proven over and over. It might look difficult, but I think that the Bray Wyatt and the walking situation, it's shameful. It's two individuals that have the backup of true aficionados of the wrestling game worldwide, and we salute you guys because you know about wrestling.
Thomas Ellsworth says, do you think WWE could do a show like Raw or SmackDown or NXT televised out of the United States that would not be Canada or the UK?
I believe so. I believe so. It's just a matter of making it work. If there's money on it, Vince will do it. And I know sometimes it's the logistic, but the time zone and all of that, it will be more or less the same. Raw is a little bit tricky, but when you have a brand that it's already over, it could be done. I'm not saying it's easy, but I believe it could be done.
Andres Lara said, what do you think about the rivalry of the Usos and Harper and Roman?
The problem is that they are so big. I don't know if that will go with the style of the Usos. We saw today part of the vignette where Harper and his partner come in and destroyed the TV set where they were playing the vignette of the Usos. I might be wrong. Let's see how these two big guys with this character could deal with the fast-moving pace, aerial attacks, synchronized tags and maneuvers of the Usos. Let's see. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, you to make the Usos look good, you have to be able to move faster. The question is, can these big guys, do that?
Moises San Miguel says, I guess they need to bring more people to SmackDown. What do you think about the pay-per-view per month with both brands?
That's the latest rumors that WWE and Vince are thinking about just mixing it up. So far, they're rumors. Whatever it takes to make TV better. It's been disappointing on the brands, and now with Vince McMahon forming the league, the football league XFL again, and getting Triple H more power. I believe it's a mess, because even with Vince around, it's been a mess. And I have stated it before, and I will state it again. I believe that Shane McMahon should be coming out of just being a talent, getting paid for being a talent, and have creative power and be in control of one of the brands. I think that Triple H should stay with the NXT, but something like 205 Live, they have to give it to somebody like Shane to have that personal touch. I think personal touch will make the brands better.
Josh Lyle Smith says hi from Conway.
All right. Thank you for being with us.
Gil Estuardo says, Hugo, what is better, Ziggler winning the title and make a Nakamura versus Ziggler, or keep AJ Styles as a champion and make Styles versus Nakamura in WrestleMania?
Or make it a triple threat. I mean, why give people less? I mean, give it a triple threat. I personally was looking forward to seeing Nakamura against AJ Styles. I would not mind if Dolph Ziggler is involved, but a match of two ex-alumni of the strong style of New Japan Pro Wrestling on the biggest stage in the world of our business in WrestleMania. You cannot go wrong with Nakamura and AJ Styles. But I repeat, I would not mind if Dolph Ziggler is put into the picture, because of the true agony that WWE made Dolph Ziggler go through, and which fans have not forgiven WWE for.
Rezo Perez says, what about AJ? I think his absence was bad for the program. What do you think?
Yeah, anytime that you don't have the champ on your show, I believe it hurts, especially with the followers that AJ has. And then when you have the open challenge for the United States, and you have the glorious one about to have that match with Randy Orton, and then you see as Mahal, Jinder Mahal comes out, and there's no challenge. Yes, Mahal attacks both of them, and yes, it's a build-up for a good storyline, but then you got cheated out of one good, solid match for the United States title. So that's my way of seeing that.
Alejandra Cerón Grimaldo says, hi, you go from Austin, Texas. What do you think of Ronda Rousey being in Raw instead of SmackDown? God bless you and your beautiful wife. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It would have been great if she would have been on the SmackDown brand. But I think obviously right now Vince believes that the money shot, it's on Raw. The money they're paying her, I believe that they want to push the ratings higher on Raw, which I believe it's not bad. But they're there. Besides Ronda, who I think is going to be good because she really respects her business and she loves her business. And anytime you have somebody that admires Roddy Piper, I tend to believe that there's a rowdy passion inside them. So let's see what happens with that. But I do believe that the blue brand SmackDown,
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I believe that the blue brand needs a makeover, and fast, and they cannot blame this on AJ Styles.
Jefferson Cortavaria says, a big hug for both of you from Peru. My best memories on WWF are from Attitude Era in the voices of Don Hugo Savinovich and Carlos Cabrera.
Yes, tonight we saw as the Queen, Charlotte, defeating Sarah Logan. And even on that match, I believe that there was something missing. Because as you experience the talent of the Queen, Charlotte, and then you see Sarah Logan, it's not a bad worker. She's very good. But something happened there that I believe that it just lacked that little extra that makes a better match.
Orlando Jose from Puerto Rico says, how about a triple threat for the WWE Championship in a no disqualification, Dolph versus AJ versus Nakamura?
Yeah, that sounds good. I just believe that the fans are expecting something big, something huge, something like a CM Punk coming in, some big name coming in for this WrestleMania. And out of nowhere, now you have to concentrate on Fastlane, and I just think that we're lacking those we are lacking those moments. Let's go with more comments
Victor
again.
Cordero says, "Hi, why in English today? What's the reason? With all of my respect."
Yes, Mondays we'll be doing Spanish, the Raw Report. Tuesdays we'll be doing SmackDown English, and it's only fair because we have such a big audience that we have to give our English fans around the world the opportunity of having their own show in their own language.
And we have it on Thursdays. That's on that show.
Yes.
And what's so awesome is that many of you speak both languages,
Yes.
so it's awesome.
Yes.
Josh Lyle Smith, I like you because we think the same thing. He says, "I don't like the New Day. I don't either. I think that pancake stuff is such." This,
Okay, well,
this is Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, wait a minute.
Please.
I did not like the pancake storyline,
I don't like any
but
of
I
them.
do like the New Day. I just believe
Beavis and Butthead.
I do not agree with my wife's comments, but that's what makes it cool in professional football. She's from the New Orleans Saints. I'm from the Giants. In soccer, I'm Barcelona. She is Real Madrid. In baseball, she's a Yankee girl. I'm a Mets fan. So here we go. But New Day has the ability to get the people on fire. I just think sometimes creative goes crazy. I know that they are like a party team and all that, but sometimes, like I stated before, when you have a Shelton in a chat, you know, give the people wrestling, give them a good show.
They look like clowns, and the only clown I like is Psycho Clown. Well, Nancy Martinez says, Atangana from Argentina.
Argentina in the house. And like we cover headlines from the wrestling world in an interview on WSBN TV. Johnny Mundo, who was John Morrison in WWE, said that he would like to work in the ring with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, The Miz, and John Cena. Would this be considered a statement of somebody that is looking forward to being back in WWE? Those comments by Johnny Mundo. By the way, Lucha Underground about to start taping their 4th season, and we have another headline. Hulk Hogan. We found out that he was on negotiations with the New Japan Pro Wrestling group, and they were about to sign the deal to get Hulk Hogan involved with the Bullet Club, but the price tag and the demands of Hulk Hogan were just too big, and what Hogan wanted was money. You know what Hogan is? Hogan is money, and New Japan Pro Wrestling said no, but I believe that marketing-wise, whatever they were paying Hulk Hogan right now, it would have been a good investment because they would have gotten the money back on merchandise and on publicity. Publicity, sometimes just the back of a top newspaper around the world will cost you so much money that it's better sometimes to pay a talent. And yeah, Hulk Hogan is not the Hulk Hogan from before, but the name,
the brand, he didn't even wrestle that great. The brand. We have never said that Hulk Hogan was the best wrestler. He himself says he wasn't the best wrestler, but he did great for the wrestling business. New Japan Wrestling, forget about Hulk Hogan and bring CM Punk.
And established the wrestling industry. Also, EC3 talked to Newsweek and said that said to them why did he leave Impact Wrestling to go to WWE, and he says the decision to leave Impact Wrestling had had nothing to do with business or finances. It had everything to do with a new challenge and to challenge myself to do something new. To leave Impact Wrestling was a very difficult decision, said EC3. Had a very lucrative contract, and they treated me right. At him, the company, they fulfilled their obligations on the contract. They always treated me right. And as a businessman and as a person, I wish them well. But it was a decision for me to challenge myself and do something new in WWE.
Tucson, Arizona in the house. Bishop Paul Ramos.
Yes, our spiritual son and daughter, Pastor Wendy Ramos and Bishop Paul Ramos from Arizona. Great wrestling fans also. And the fans are upset with Rusev because WWE, it's not pushing them. The whole arena goes bananas. They go crazy with the Rusev Day. And creative, it's not acknowledging it because it wasn't them that put him over. It was the fans. And they don't like that.
Okay, so here, Pedro Puerto Alarcon said, today we cannot speak Spanish and I will write in English. I found a lack of respect on the part of the Fox Sports Latin American network when presenting the show with background sounds that did not let hear the program. Greetings from Lima. See you in Empire Wrestling.
Yeah, the fans from Latin America are very upset with the Fox Sports Network as they do not have control, on how to manage the commercial breaks, and sometimes even doing programming, a crazy soundtrack it's playing. And this happens in a lot of countries with the Fox Sports Networks, and the fans just keep writing, and they're very upset about that.
Tyson Dargent says, Hugo, come back to the WWE.
So right now, we're doing so many things. On February 24th, we have a big show, Lucha Conquest. I am the executive producer of New Generation Championship Wrestling. It's our second big show on February 24th at the Fire Frog Stadium in Kissimmee, Florida. The big main event to crown our New Generation Championship Wrestling World Champion, Alberto El Patron del Rio against Carlito Caribbean Cool. We have an attitude style match, Badass Billy Gunn against the Giant at Snitsky, and many more bouts. That's February 24th in Kissimmee, Florida. And if you're around the area, check us out. It's going to be fantastic. I'm also producing a show in Chile, Santiago, Chile, with Austin Aries on May 6th. On March 4th, I will be doing play-by-play on the big event, pay-per-view event of AAA Mexico, Rey de Reyes. That's like a huge event in Latin America, and especially in Mexico. I will be doing the play-by-play. So we're very busy, and we have never closed the doors with WWE. But if there were any business that will happen in the future, it has to be a good deal, a deal that will be good for Vince, and a deal that will be good for us.
Like The Godfather.
Yeah, an offer that you can have refused.
That's right.
But we always wish them the best. They were in my family for over 70 years, and I always wish them well and wish them the best.
We have here Hugo Justin J. Lopez from the Spotlight.
Yes, all right.
He said thoughts on the brand pay-per-views being combined after WrestleMania.
Wow, as they were talking about that, my biggest fear is that they could be feeling more secure because of the fact that they're going to have more matches, more storylines. That this could hide their biggest negative, which is creative right now. And I believe that you could do the changes of mixing up the brands, but if you do not get it together, if you do not get the respect back, the #1 wrestling company, sports entertainment company in the world, something has happened. I know Vince has the plans with XFL, but because he has no true competition, I think they're lacking that fire. Vince was my boss for over 17 years, and I believe that when he is tested, when he is challenged, when the McMahons are challenged, then it's 24-hour of creative explosions. And I believe that you could get the two brands together, of all the brands together for the pay-per-views, as a matter of fact. But if they don't get it right, if they don't get you remember when Hulk Hogan used to do this, and with the fans, I think WWE is going to have to do this and listen to the fans again. I think they're missing it, and they're missing it big. And you cannot find more loyal fans than WWE fans. Trust me. I worked with WWE for over 70 years and have done shows all over the world, and we get weekly responses from people all over the world. And what they are upset is that they feel that they are neglected. The fans, the WWE Nation feels that they don't listen to them, and they still treat them like that PG, like little kids. And the little kids are good, but there's also grown-ups, and you're going to have to balance it out. So those are my comments from
Daryl Black III says, thank you for the English. God bless. You're so welcome. It's our pleasure. Edwin Benitez says, Tijuana in the house.
Yes, I did a big event of anniversary a few months ago for the Crash Lucha Libre. There's a lot of companies that are really kicking some butt, and I am so happy because fans are getting to see a lot of good action all over the place. And before Yeah, there's a lot of noise about WWE in talks with Jeff Jarrett for the to see if he's inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Which, if it happens, it will be WWE exalting or putting in the Hall of Fame of WWE inducting Jeff Jarrett, the creator of TNA. I think that would be awesome because it will prove, like when they did one time with Vern Gagne, and that rivalries and promotions have nothing to do with your achievements, and that would be fantastic. That's my take on I call him Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Andre DeRoyne says, Vince, bring Hogan home.
Yeah, fans, WWE and Hogan are it's that's what the fans love, and I don't believe that there's a human being that is perfect, and I know that Hogan has been involved in some situations, but he has asked for forgiveness. I think that WWE owes him a second opportunity, and why not? The fans, they want to see the Hulkster back. And I'm not talking about you don't have to have Hulk Hogan full time, but I think WWE and Hulk Hogan are part. They belong. The right way to say it would be WWE and Hulk Hogan belong together.
Lonnie David Moray McNeil says, I want CM Punk, and I do too.
Yes,
and so many fans too.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is we've been talking about that. And when recently it was CM Punk who let the world know that he was on conversation through text messaging by CM Punk himself admitting it with Vince McMahon. And the fan says, oh, you guys should stop speculating about CM Punk.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and then CM Punk says, I've been texting with Vince McMahon. So
but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Like, hello, have a Merry Christmas,
Yeah, but,
Happy New Year. But doesn't mean anything.
But really. It could also mean a lot. It could also mean that there's a deal on the making. If Vince McMahon once hired Eric Bischoff, which was an impossible thing, if Vince McMahon hired Hulk Hogan when they were through enemies and got him back here, when Vince McMahon was able to buy WCW and Shane McMahon appear on Nitro, when Vince McMahon was able to take a territorial wrestling into a global phenomenon like the WWE, and now insisting on going with Pro Football XFL, and he is such a genius. He might make some mistakes, but then again, no one is perfect. But he has that driving force to do some crazy business. Were you surprised when out of nowhere you found out that even though Vince has the contract with Brock Lesnar, that Brock Lesnar had permission from Vince through a deal with Dana White, the president of UFC, to go back for one match with the UFC? Nobody believed it back then. So why can't something like that happen with CM Punk? I truly believe that if WWE, they do business with CM Punk for at least close to 2 years, it will be solid money, solid storylines, and the fans will go crazy. The fans that love CM Punk and the fans that hate CM Punk, because Cena proved it with the anti-Cena fans, with the Roman Reigns crew too. There's a brand new audience out there, and you could be a villain for many, a baby face for many, but the important thing is to create such a great product that it doesn't matter if you hate me or if you love me. What matters is what is the product based. Thank you.
Alex Robert Juanca says, what do you think about the fight between the possible struggle of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania? Greet me, please. I'm from Lima, Peru. This is Alex Robert Juanca.
Alex Robert Juanca from Lima, Peru, in the house. I have stated to the fans, Roman Reigns is the new face of WWE. The big dog is the man. Wow. I was just talking to our Spanish world yesterday on the Raw Report, and my words to the Spanish audience worldwide was, as you see it now, you might be upset with the Roman Reigns situation, which was driven in large part this fiasco by the creative and Vince McMahon trying to push Roman Reigns too quick and then not listening to the fans and turning heel at the right time. But, you know, that's past. But at one point, I said that to the fans last night. You are going to be shocked to see what develops from Roman Reigns. I think that the Roman Reigns is the real deal. I think that he's going to be able to work with the anti-fans, you know, the anti-Roman Reigns fans, and he's going to create a big legion of fans of Roman Reigns. That, you know, a lot of people, listen, Roman Reigns comes from a traditional wrestling family, all talented. I mean, from the cousins to the fathers, I mean, they are part of wrestling history and the wrestling culture, and that's what is in his genes. And given the right opportunity, the right scenarios, and I think this is the right one, I think you're going to see Roman Reigns shine, and the hate is going to be bigger sometimes, but then the votes are going to be bigger sometimes, and you're going to have people that love him, people that hate him, but it's going to be sellout crowds. A controversy is going to always surround Roman Reigns, make no mistake about that. But he is the money. He's a true athlete. He is so passionate, and I believe if you give him the right competitors, the right workers, the right storylines, it's gonna be fantastic.
Elias Morrison II says Rusev Day,
Rusev Day.
Anthony Habdi says that John Morrison is a good asset.
Yes, a super asset, and he has worked for me on so many of my production. He's gonna be, by the way, as soon as the government of Puerto Rico gives me the green light, as you know, the island of Puerto Rico that I love was struck by Hurricane Maria, and the island was destroyed. We were about to have Mysterio Mania with Rey Mysterio and the Messias, Ricky Banderas. Johnny Mundo was set to appear on that card, and Ibeliz defending the ladies tag against Taya, and great MVP and many more stars. A hurricane hit. As soon as the government gives us the green light, Johnny Mundo or John Morrison and Rey Mysterio and all these big stars are going to be participating in Mysterio Mania, tribute to the Messiahs of Ricky Banderas, who is from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. And the other thing that it's changing is we're going to make it a bigger card, and all the profits from that wrestling show, all the profits are going to be used to help donated to help the people, the victims of the Hurricane Maria. So I truly believe that Johnny Mundo, he's a tremendous athlete, and I have a match set up for another country. I would love to see it. There's a wrestler from Brazil called Zumbi from Brazil.
He's amazing.
That has the same Brazilian style of capoeira. Capoeira, I can't recall the right pronunciation of that martial arts from Brazil. But I believe that if I could book that match in one of the countries that I run in South America, Central America, Johnny Mundo against Zumbi, you're going to have a dream match. By the way, May 6th in Santiago, Chile, I have Austin areas booked for wrestling superstar in Santiago, Chile, and like I said before, February 24th, Firefront Stadium,
Florida.
Alberto Del Rio against Carlito Caribbean Cool, or Alberto El Patron Del Rio against Carlito, to crown our first world heavyweight champion of New Generation Championship Wrestling. An attitude match back as Billy Gunn against the Giant Snitsky. You have big names on that card. Chris Masters, Mike Knox. Oh man, just go for more comments, and I'll get more information on the
Jose Danilo says, can you say hello to the Bullet Club Monterrey?
Bullet Club Monterrey. Those are my guys, my crazy amigos from Monterrey. We love you, English and Spanish. Yes.
The Spotlight says they think Rusev Day is a fad.
Yeah, but even if it's a fad, and the guy proves, and I'm talking about Rusev, that he could get over, and the fans like it, why not take advantage of that? If you don't have a solid creative storyline and something is working, let's go with that.
Also, we have here, let me see who else. Who else? Jose Gonzalez says, tune in Friday to roast to Lucha Conquest Friday 7 p.m. on Ricans of Wrestling page. So it's on the road to Lucha Conquest.
Yeah, those are our friends from Orlando. So our main event on Lucha Conquest 2, the saga continues on February 24th at the Fire Frog Stadium in Kissimmee. Alberto Del Rio against Carlito to crown the world champion of NGCW. Attitude match, Badass Billy Gunn against the Giant Snitsky. Bragging rights, 3 against 3. Apollo, Chicano, and Alofa against Mike Knox, Eli Drake, and Chris Masters. For the International Cup, you have Mecha Wolf from Puerto Rico, Laredo Kid of Mexico, and Zumbi from Brazil. Tag Team War, Boricua Guerrero, and Ecuadorian Panther against Rebelde Noriega, and the brother of Alberto Del Rio, Hijo de Dos Caras. For the Women's World Championship of Crash Lucha, Lazy Lane against the Diva Santana Garrett. And you have for the CCW Heavyweight Championship, Santos against the Mexico champion, Camelot. Tag team battle, Apollo Jr. and Patrick against Cha-Cha Charlie and Alex Flash. And Extreme Girl Roxy against Chelsea. Bell time 7 p.m. Tickets you could buy it at epicomagazine.com, epico with a K.com. And I am the executive producer of NGCW. It's going to be a great card and also a big menace. The Legends of Wrestling from Puerto Rico, they have threatened us that they're going to be invading that card. Guys like Sabio Vega, Chiqui Star, Profe, and many more have threatened us that they're going to be there.
Yusef Hernandez says SmackDown Live has been worse in recent days than in all its history. Lots of overrated superstars and dumb gimmicks. Brett Ferrantino says TNA should just give up. All their wrestlers are coming to WWE.
Not necessarily, because I believe if good storylines take place, you could overcome that. I mean, Lucha Underground has just lost with Ricochet or Prince Puma, a huge star, and they're going to start the 4th season. New Japan Pro Wrestling lost some of the top teams and top stars like Nakamura, AJ Styles. But, you know, that's the art of our business. You know, you don't go crying in one corner, oh, WWE took my talent. No, you just step it up. You're a big boy. You hit back. You hit harder. You create bigger shows. As we know, New Japan Pro Wrestling did that. Wrestle Kingdom 12, Jericho against Omega. I'm very upset about the booking there. They took the title away from Omega, but at that moment, they had the biggest house in 16 years. And then we found out that they were trying to hire Goldberg and also Hulk Hogan. So New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's on the move. And every wrestling company should be original. That you should not wake up worrying about what Vince and WWE are going to do. You have to worry about what you are going to do. And you have to step it up and get your product better and your storylines better and pay your talent better, the right money, and treat the fans right, and you're gonna have success.
Edwin Mike Guerrero Melendez says, I love this podcast. Thanks, Guy. Freddie Milian Ortiz says, what is happening with Samoa Joe?
Well, the injuries, I think that's the problem. And boy, he had come back quicker with more energy, and he was just, when you know that you're clicking, that everything happens. And I was a wrestler for 20 years, and that doesn't happen every day. It comes, you go through some valleys, and then some mountains, some ups and downs. But there is a moment in your career that things just happen, that everything clicks right. And I think that was happening with Samoa Joe, and I hope that he comes back fast. I'm very happy with Elias. I want to walk with Elias. And I think that
I don't want to walk with Elias.
It reminds me of Hercules Hernandez. For the young crowd, you could go to Google and search for Hercules Hernandez. He has a big change, but he reminds me so much of that. Like I said before, it's not because lack of talent. I think it's lack of creative talent, and I think there's a big creative hole right now with this situation of Vince being divided. His energy is about this XFL, which he already put another $100 million into it. And the biggest rivalry angle of Jericho and Owens, it almost did not happen because Vince was away on business, and his son-in-law Triple H almost changed the angle. And Jericho, God bless Jericho, the Lion Jericho, he stood, and this guy is a fighter. Jericho, man, I love Jericho. Jericho said, your father-in-law told me we were going to do this way, and we're going to do it. And Triple H will be the first one to tell you that Jericho was right. That angle with Owens, the friendship ending, was solid gold. And I believe, that's what I'm saying, that I believe that somebody like Shane McMahon should be added into the creative roster, because right now it's just the talent, and you should give him the WWE 205 Live. Too many obligations for Triple H. I don't think he's ready. Nobody knows how hard it is to do creative work. As I could tell you, I have spent over 40 years, and trust me, you get burned out. And don't forget, he's also married to the daughter of the owner. He's got a beautiful family, and there is so much responsibilities. And I believe that when you add more, you don't create more. You are just adding more. And I do believe that at one point Triple H will be ready. But even then, I have stated that I think that the perfect combination of the successors of WWE should be, and this is what I said, and I stand by what I said. I believe that it should be Shane #1, Stephanie #2, and Triple H #3. But always Vince McMahon should have the power to veto, to override it. You need that. That is what has made WWE different, and that's what is lacking right now, because sometimes the talent are just eating at the catering place, and nobody knows what the heck is happening in one of the most brilliant companies that the world has ever seen. And I have worked all my life in professional wrestling. Is it late for WWE? No, they are #1. They have the money, they have the talent. It's like you go through those situations where you don't know what the heck is happening, you know?
You go through dry spells.
Yeah, it happens in a marriage, it happens in a career. Well, it's happening to the biggest company in the world, WWE. But I do believe, and I have faith, that Vince is gonna get it together with the creative teams, and that the fans are gonna enjoy some great wrestling.
Samir Fruwala says, flop Raw, SmackDown, flop WWE. That's what he says.
Well, and you know, you have to respect what the fans say. They know their wrestling. I mean, fans, they're so studious of the game. And that's what sometimes we as producers and promoters, sometimes we make the mistake that we think that we got all the answers, and we forget what Hogan used to do. You know, you got to get the people involved to listen. And that's what we do here every week. From the Spanish podcast that we do to now this English. Well, now not just in Spanish, but in English, companies like New Japan Pro Wrestling, obviously WWE, Ring of Honor, and Impact Wrestling, and whatever you fans talk, we'll talk, and they'll have the opportunity not just to hear what the Dangerous Blonde, my wife Diana, says, or Hugo Savinovich, but more important, what you guys to say. And you cannot duplicate the opportunity that wrestling companies have to check out your opinions. You guys are the customers. And I believe that the greatest nation in the world, United States, as far as the industry of business is related, stated that the customer is always right.
It's always right.
And it's a worldwide rule right now. I don't care if you're in Japan.
Even if they're not, they're right.
I don't care if you're in Japan and South Korea. Let's not talk about North Korea, but China or South America. The fans are customers. Customers are always right. And for some reason, our industry, it doesn't follow that rule. It's like, I'm the promoter. Boom, you're gonna do what I say, and the fans are gonna buy my product because I know. No. What do the fans want to see? Those are our wrestling fans. They are a wrestling family, and we have to be grateful because they are the people that sustain the industry.
No wrestling. Yes. There's no fans.
Yeah, a couple of more comments, Diana, and then will be signing off.
Cesar Calloway wants to know, will Cena fight in WrestleMania?
Yeah, right now as the story is going, and let me tell you something. The fans are not buying this thing too much about Cena going to WrestleMania. I think they went to the well a little bit too many times. But you know, let's see what happens. But I think that you have to accommodate the storyline a little bit, because Cena has been so successful that the fans know that he's done it all. He was the top star. Now it's Roman Reigns, and they want to see him do good in TV and in movies and all that stuff, and for him to have success in his marriage when he gets married with Nikki Bella and all that. But the fans know that now he's just a guest star, and somehow the bookings, the creative, are trying to push him like one more time to WrestleMania, and they're making about the same mistake as they did with Roman Reigns. You know, let the fans get into the story. Don't push it. I don't think you need to push it with John Cena. He's already John Cena. You're going to love him or hate him, he's already John Cena. Create the atmosphere for something good. One more comment, Diana?
Mike Moreno says, will Daniel Bryan wrestle again in WWE?
Not in WWE, but he will. Daniel Bryan will wrestle again, but not in WWE. And whoever signs him, be it Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, or AAA in Mexico, or one of my wrestling companies, whoever gets to sign him, it's gonna make a lot of money. And if CM Punk is not signed yet, and they are able to do that rematch, CM Punk against Daniel Bryan, wow, it will be fantastic, and I will be on the run to try to get the contract for them in one of the South American countries.
Let me get one more comment, and just Joseph Hernandez says, it seems that every wrestling enterprise is just a training camp for WWE, or the place used by WWE to recruit talents without investing a lot.
Yeah, but you know, that happens. You know, it happens, and a lot of times it's because the smaller companies, we don't have the money to sign wrestlers like to a contract, because that means that you're going to have to pay that wrestler for you know, X amount of months or whatever. So when you don't have that contract, your talent is free to go wherever they go. It is good. It hurts, but I also believe, and it's been proven, that even with Vince taking talent from companies, if your philosophy of the game, if you are a studious of the game, if you know what you're doing with storylines and building up your brand, fans will support you. In Mexico, WWE is no longer a big giant force. In Japan, you know, now New Japan Pro Wrestling rules, you know, and that wasn't the case for many years. South America, for over 5 years, WWE did not go there until I opened up South America, and I brought the Young Bucks and the Hardy Boys and RVD and Tommy Dreamer and Rey Mysterio and the Messias Banderas and all these great wrestlers, and I put different companies to work together and created tremendous shows with the lighting and all that. And wow, next thing you know, the Vince is getting $450,000 for each show, and in Chile, where I run the show, he makes like close to $2 million. You know, that would I get upset? You know, it hurts, but that is life.
Business. It's
business. Would I do the same if I had that money? Yes. And people will lie to your face. The wrestling industry is a jungle, and people will lie to your face and say, no, I will not do what Vince does. Yes, because power, it's power.
And business, business is about making money.
Yes. One more comment, Diana?
Will Greenwell says, hello from Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
North Carolina. All right.
Says, you guys are great. Thank you so much. We'll be here every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, SmackDown Report. Yes. Your comments are mostly appreciated. You are the stars of the show. And on the shows that I will be doing, like the 24th, in
Mexico.
No, in Kissimmee. I will have live interviews right here in your pages. So this is gonna be good. You're gonna get to hear from the stars that are doing it, you know, doing great shows around the world from promoters, and we're gonna have that in English for you guys. So every Tuesday is official meeting date. But then as I do pay-per-views in Mexico, on the 4th of March, as I do 24th of February in Florida. Lucha Conquest too. We'll have these special interviews. We'll talk to the wrestlers, to the promoters, and give you that inside look on the passion of our business.
Another comment, Luis Carlos Valdez said, Hugo, why do you think Disco Inferno expresses himself so negatively against Mexican and Japanese wrestling? He said the Almas Gargano match was barely 4 stars, and they would be much better if he trains them for 1 day.
He's crazy. He's crazy. Personally, I don't think that he has the caliber to say that. He was never like in the top 10 of wrestlers. He was good, but you have to be very careful on your statements. And when you talk about the quality of wrestlers, you know, sometimes it's better to just sip it and not to say things that are insulting. And especially when you're wrong. And I might not agree with the scales they give wrestling matches today, or who is the guy that gives the wrestling match 5 stars. I believe that is wrong, because first of all, the guy was never a wrestler. I don't think he has the pure knowledge to make that. I think that to make it a real concept on the stars, besides him, you're gonna have like 4 top guys, superstars like a Nature Boy Ric Flair, like a Harley Race, and mixed a modern generation guy, and a star from Japan also, and then have you guys count, you know, the vote from the fans. Then you have a true picture of the stars of a match. But you know what Meltzer might say, you know, I have never met the guy, but it upsets me that somebody that never wrestled, never promoted, that he is an authority on what is 5 stars. No, you might be a good reporter, you might have the inside scoops, and he does a good job on that, not knocking that part. But when you think that you're so big that you could put the match into a category where I say this match has 5 stars, no, sir, you're wrong, you're incorrect. And by the way, we're talking about that, the PW 500, I'm also against that, because I don't think they do a good job. I think to make it legit, you've got to have a team of the right judges, of big, huge stars that are neutral, and the voting of the fans. For some reason, I'm old school, and I believe that that's the way. If you're gonna make it credible, you're gonna have to do it that way. So I think we
the T-shirt.
Yes, and Atangana is my official T-shirt. You could get one of this, and it has on the back. It has all my famous quotes from the matches, and it's signed. It's a collector's T-shirt, and you can go into Lucha Libre Online and get more details. Or right here in the page where you're in, just write in, and our friends from each of the pages will give you the information. We are so blessed to have the opportunity to be sharing this with our friends in Sportskeeda Wrestling, in the World Wrestling Network, the Pro Wrestling World, Wrestling Rumors, WWE Australian Fans, WWE Champions, the Wrestling Insiders, the Spotlight, the Gift of Jericho. Thank you, DX and Undertaker, Real Wrestling Fans. We love pro wrestling. And Más Lucha, WWE Latinoamérica, WWE Humor, Queremos WWE, Planeta Wrestling, WWE World Fans, solo para fanáticos de la WWE, Suplex, WWE Universo Latino, WWE Nación Mundial, WWE es mi pasión, WWE Fanatic World, Caín, WWE, Hablemos de Lucha, Lucha Libre MXPR, WWE Fanáticos Mundial, WWE para el Mundo, Zona Ruda, Team Rest, el blog de Lucha, el Polo WWE, Theo Eisenberg, and Lucha Libre Online. So this is my wife, the Dangerous Blonde, Diana Sabinovich. We are about to celebrate our anniversary, 28th anniversary.
28 years together.
28 years. Wow. She has seen matches from Andre the Giant to the Funks to the Fabulous Moolah to the biggest WrestleManias, the biggest anniversary shows in Puerto Rico, the biggest matches of the Young Bucks and the Hardys, the RVD, Rey Mysterio in South America and in Puerto Rico, and we will keep doing more history on the shows to come. And we're glad that you're going to be part of us as we will break in with important news in English as we do in Spanish. We thank you and keep supporting the page that you're watching us. This is Diana Sabinovich. My name is Hugo Sabinovich. The noise you heard is our blue and gold macaw, a little girl, Shushi.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, to all those lovers out there, happy Valentine's Day. My birthday is the day after, the 15th.
Thursday?
I turned 32. No, I'm just kidding. My birthday is on February 15th. And we love you guys. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for having the passion for wrestling. And, you know, keep wrestling alive. In Spanish is Viva la lucha, Atangana, and God bless you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Adios.